As we saw, Jane and her colleagues dodged a bullet, but Joan, Jane's sister, didn't. She was victimized in much the same way that Lawrence was. Lystra is about to explain why Lawrence was so vulnerable to the attack and how the attack was operationalized. And Lawrence is about to indicate why Lystra's confidence in him is justified.
Lawrence, thanks for debriefing me on what happened. Let's talk about.
I still don't really understand what happened.
I'm going to explain.
I mean, yes, I clicked the link and I knew from my training that I shouldn't have done, but oh,
I'm going to explain, Lawrence, if you.
I feel so guilty about this disaster and what it might mean for our bank's relationship with Genco.
To say nothing of what it might mean for your career, right, Lawrence?
What?
Let's take this in steps, okay, Lawrence?
Okay, Lystra. Thanks.
From what you told me, you are vulnerable to the attack because you were trying to do too much at the same time. Multitasking doesn't work. Haste makes waste.
Right. I was stressed out about confirming that charity invitation email. I should have waited to confirm that invitation until after I finished my work on the Genco documents.
You should have made golf your last priority.
But Lystra, those jerks who launched the phishing attack could not have known that I was distracted by social and work obligations.
They didn't need to know those social and technical particulars, Lawrence. They knew the work demands of your job, plus the kind of social life you lead, combined to confuse your decision making. Even the most diligent and responsible person is vulnerable to this kind of attack.
Uh, Now that I know why I was vulnerable, please tell me how those jerks operationalized the phishing attack.
Here's how the phishing attack victimized you. In step one, the hacker sends a phishing email to you, figuring that you'll click the link because your reasoning process is confounded by the social engineering of the email and the complexity of the socio-technical environment. In step two, you innocently, or should I say thoughtlessly, clicked the link.
Ouch. Keep going.
By clicking the link in step two, you send the instructions to the hacker over the internet. In step three, the hacker automatically responds by sending malware. That means malicious software to your device, which in this case was your phone.
Wait a minute. I was using my work phone. Doesn't that phone have filtering software that stops the malware from getting into my phone?
Filtering software recognizes and stops malware that is known to exist, but the bad guys often use malware that no one has seen yet.
Who are these jerks?
Many times they're state actors or organized criminal enterprises, or both. They commonly target banks, which have been victims of some of history's highest payoff attacks.
So once the malware gets into my local device, it migrated to the bank's CRM systems?
Right. And from there, the code can cause all kinds of mischief. In our case, the hackers encrypted databases containing customer files, including the Genco files. We had to pay them ransom in bitcoins to decrypt the database. Lawrence, this attack could have been worse.
Worse? How?
There's an attack called double ransomware. That's where the attackers encrypt the data and then exfiltrate it.
By exfiltrate, you mean they extract copies of the data to their website?
Correct. So with the double ransomware, the hackers demand a payment to decrypt the data so our bank could use it again, and another payment to forbear from selling the data on the dark web. A sale of the Genco data could have been catastrophically embarrassing to our bank.
And catastrophically embarrassing to me. You don't have to say it, Lystra. I get it.
As a bank, our customers, regulators, and insurance underwriters have a right to demand that we're effective in securing data and mitigating the costs of successful security attacks.
The attack that victimized Lawrence was similar to the one in the Jane and Joan story. Thanks to Lystra, now we know why and how these attacks are successful. Let's go to the conclusion of the Jane and Joan story to see how Jane managed the situation. Her strategy aligns with the strategy that Lawrence will propose to his boss.